Next on the Shield, VU once again joins the popcorn parade, but just how long have they been doing it?
Plus, the leaves are changing. We're talking to a meteorology professor about how warmer weather can affect the autumn colors we're about to see.
And coming up, I'll let you know how long we can see these nice pictures come into the area. We'll have this full forecast coming up. You're watching the Shield live on Channel 15.
Thank you for joining us on the Shield. I'm Parker Gatewood.
And I'm Aimee Heyden.
Yet another popcorn festival came and went this past weekend. Hundreds of floats rounded through downtown Valpo and the surrounding community. Valparaiso University has been involved in the Popcorn Fest for many years, but it's not as long as you would think. VUTV was out with the men's basketball team and Crusader Pep Band to find out about VU's path to the popcorn parade.
7 to 9 years ago, we started getting involved in the popcorn parade, and I ended up borrowing some trailers from Hurlitt's Farm, and we tow it with our squad car, and it's a good time.
We started about 7 years ago, I think. We thought, hey, we're already up early in the morning playing for the race, and Valparaiso University didn't have any representation in the parade. So we thought it was a good way to get involved.
You know, first of all, we got a lot of staff and students that attend the parade, and they're all hollering and waving at us. And then local people, they talk about it later on throughout the year. And, oh, yeah, you guys were in the parade, and it was cool. The band was good, and it was a good time.
VUTV!
With college football in full swing and the kickoff to the 2015 NFL season this past weekend, the engineering department is beginning their season of robotic football this coming Sunday. Valparaiso University robotic football team remains undefeated following their first year of competition. And what began as a senior design project has created a new competition team here at VU. The full-scale football team is equipped with robots that can throw and catch using various attachments to simulate the movements of an actual football player. Points are handed out as usual, but the only exception is that a team can receive points for catching a pass. The Crusaders will open up their 2015 season this coming Sunday at 1 p.m. against Notre Dame. And you can check that game out right here at the Arc.
So right now we're doing lots of practice. So being that our quarterback is manual, we have to have a lot of communication and practice between the wide receivers and the quarterback. We also have to do a lot of practice with the handoffs going to the running back. This gives a lot of communication and a lot to make sure that the robots are up and running.
This past weekend, temperatures felt rather fall-like, which was a huge relief from the above normal temperatures we had at the beginning of this month. The first official day of fall is September 23rd. What can we expect for this fall, and how will that affect the changing colors of the leaves? Storm Shield meteorologist Lauren Hilko has the story.
September is underway, and so far temperatures have been above normal. How will fall 2015 be shaping up? I sat down with meteorology professor Teresa Balls-Elschultz to find out.
For the fall, that probably means normal. For temperature-wise, and then for precipitation-wise, because it's warmer, we might get a little more rain, but it depends on how the pattern sets up. So I looked at the Climate Prediction Center to see what they said. They've got us above normal for the next month, so still having kind of that ridge coming in, some of that warm air that we've kind of been seeing.
I don't know about you, but my favorite time of fall has to deal with the color change of the leaves. How does temperature and precip affect the leaves changing colors?
A big part of the leaves is where the the moisture has been at. So it's the nutrients in the trees that goes into the leaves. So if we have nice looking healthy trees right now, we should have nice healthy color that goes. We get closer to the equinox and the light starts to go a little bit away, so it's going to react. So it's not getting as much sunlight for the photosynthesis. So we're going to start seeing the greens back off, and so the yellows will start to come in. If the trees are healthy and have had good moisture, which they really have around here, we should have some decent color. The reds are definitely temperature dependent, and again, still moisture, but the reds are a reaction to some of the cooler weather. So if you noticed out on sort of our boundary road, we started to get a hint of the reds and purples in some of those maples. So I think that was our cool night, so reacting.
Over the next few weeks, as you head outside, keep your eyes to the trees for the beautiful fall colors. For The Shield, I'm meteorologist Lauren Hilko.
And thanks, Lauren, for that. Well, Parker, it was beautiful this weekend. Nice, chilly weather. Kind of felt like fall with football coming back. But, you know, I heard that it's going to get a little bit warmer before we actually stay in with that cold fall weather. We're going to send it over to meteorologist Andrew Whitmire, who has a look at what's coming up in his fall forecast. Andrew?
That's right, Amy. After we had that cool weekend, we finally are seeing temperatures back into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Let's go ahead and take a look at a photo that was sent in from one of our viewers today. Maria Bruno here. This sends us of a nice picture of the Chapel of the Resurrection today. You can kind of see those clear blue skies that have been around the area throughout the daytime hours. Currently, it is 80 degrees right now with the south wind at 17 miles per hour under mostly sunny skies right now. Current radar is showing the radar is mostly clear right now. Regional temperatures right now, though, are showing temperatures in the lower 80s across the region, middle 80s, though, if you go into southern Illinois. But coming up, I'll have a full forecast on how long these warm temperatures will continue.
Thanks, Andrew. Worst case abuse.
Next on The Shield, Michigan police are in the middle of what some are calling one of the most horrific abuse cases in recent memory.
Plus, a former tennis star wrongly detained by New York police. Newly released video seems to confirm the version of his story. This story and more just ahead.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
So right now we're doing lots of practice.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Welcome back to The Shield. We start tonight with breaking national news. A professor at Delta State University in Mississippi was shot and killed this morning around 10 a.m. local time. Ethan Schmidt, a professor of history, was killed in his office. Police are searching for a person of interest identified as another Delta State professor, Shannon Lamb, who may be tied to another murder 300 miles away. Authorities say Lamb is no longer on the Delta State campus, but he still remains at large. Professor Schmidt was a member of his alma mater's chapter of the Phi Delta Theta fraternity. This afternoon, the National Fraternity page posted a short message to Facebook as a tribute to Schmidt's life. This is still a developing story, and we will have updates on VUTV's social media as we learn more.
In other news, Michigan police say they have found a disabled man in what many would see as horrifying conditions. Veteran officers are calling it one of the worst abuse cases they have ever seen. His caretaker, you ask? None other than his own sister. CNN's Jessica Dupnack has the story.
I've never seen anyone living in this type of condition.
That's what police officers found when they were sent to this home in Mount Morris Township to check on a man who hadn't been seen or heard from in years.
He described the smell as being unbearable.
It got worse when they found the 62-year-old man in his bedroom.
The victim was covered with cockroaches and feces and a urine-soaked bed with a bewildered look on his face, like, help me.
The GM retiree had suffered a leg injury, leaving him unable to walk. That's why he relied on his sister, Patsy Marshall, and her husband, Andrew Green. But instead of caring for him, they kept him hidden in the bedroom, maybe for as long as 7 years.
He was alert and knew what was going on. He just didn't have movement of his legs.
He was fed just one meal a day and couldn't get out of bed to use the bathroom. He had virtually no contact with anyone in the home, including 2 children who lived there.
They basically intentionally cut him off from communication from the outside world.
Marshall and Green are now charged with vulnerable adult abuse and unlawful imprisonment. When they were questioned by police,
They basically attempted to blame it all on him.
the man is recovering in the hospital. Eventually, he will be moved to an adult care facility. He told police he's alive because they found him.
He also told the officers several times, thank you, you saved my life.
New York City's police department has released surveillance footage of an incident involving former Olympian and tennis pro James Blake and an undercover officer. CNN's Kim Hutchinson has the story.
James Blake is seen standing outside a Manhattan hotel when an undercover cop tackles him. The video shows the officer, who was working an identity theft investigation, throwing Blake to the ground and handcuffing him. The former tennis star was released about 10 minutes later when officers realized they had the wrong man. The officer involved, James Frescatore, is already a defendant in 2 federal lawsuits alleging excessive force. He's been placed on desk duty. Apologies were made Friday by New York officials.
At this time, I see this as a case of excessive force, inappropriate force.
I want to apologize to him on behalf of the city of New York. This shouldn't have happened, and he shouldn't have been treated this way. And I think it is a reminder of why we have to continue to make reforms.
Blake said in a statement released Friday that he appreciates the apologies, but courtesy was not enough. He said he wants to use the incident to help change the relationship between the police and the people they serve. And Blake called on the city to make a, quote, significant financial commitment to improving that relationship. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
Now, James Blake has not decided if he wants to sue the NYPD. In an interview with CNN, Blake said he's waiting to see if the city can make the incident right. Meanwhile, the head of the police union says Frescatore was just doing his job and that he shouldn't be disciplined before the investigation is concluded. Moving overseas, the King of Saudi Arabia made his visit to the scene of the deadly crane collision that killed over 107 people this past Friday. State-ran media reports he gave his condolences to the families of the victims. The Saudi monarch also visited a local hospital to lift up the spirits of the wounded.
I give my condolences to the martyrs. May they rest in peace. This nation is at the service of the 2 holy mosques, and this is a great honor. Mecca is the most important place in the world to us. We will investigate the cause of this accident, and I want to reassure the results will be made public.
That does it for national news this evening. Storm Shield meteorologist Andrew Whitmire is back with your full forecast after the break. Stick with us.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Coming up on the Shield here, we're taking a look at a picture-perfect day. Warming trend right now. We're also going to see a dry next couple of days around the area. Showers and thunderstorms, though, we're going to see closing out the week as we go throughout your full Storm Shield 5-day forecast. Your current conditions, though, is 80 degrees, though, currently right now with the south wind at 17 miles per hour. It's been a very warm day compared to what we've seen over Saturday, where we didn't even make it up to 60 degrees as far as the afternoon high goes. Regional temperatures across the region are 80 in Kankakee, 80 in Valparaiso, 85 warm spot, though, in Peoria, and 85 also in Malone. Now, we're going to take a look at the muggy meter here, and it's very comfortable outside and pleasant, where we have dew points in the lower 50s. Currently, it's 55 degrees as the dew point right now. So, again, you're not going to sweat a whole lot if you plan to be outside. Current almanac for today, they'll reach a high of 80 degrees. Our low was 60 degrees. We're about 5 degrees above normal right now. We should be about 75 degrees. Record was set back in 2009 at 89 degrees. This is one thing you'll notice, though. Today's the first sunset that won't happen after 7 p.m. today. This is the first sunset that will be at 6:59 p.m. So we are getting closer and closer to seeing those daylight hours start to shorten up across the area. Your regional high temperatures, though, across the area, 84 in Juliet, 82 in Chicago, and 81 in Gary, 80 in LaPorte. School spots, though, are off to our west and east here, 78 in South Bend and 79 over in Goshen. Now, this is why we're seeing the above average temperatures here. We have this ridge here that's surging all that Gulf of Mexico warm air into our region. And that's going to continue to give us warm air as we go through Friday, but then you'll notice a pattern shift in the 5-day forecast once we get into the full weekend. Your future radar here, though, this is what I want to show you here. This is Tuesday at midnight here. We're going to start to see the cloud deck start to increase across. And this is going to give us mostly cloudy skies as we get into the overnight hours into tonight, into early tomorrow morning. But they'll start to clear out as we go throughout the noon hour here, and then we'll end with mostly sunny skies by the time we go to your dinner time forecast. So for tonight, we're going to reach a low of right around 60 degrees. Again, partly to mostly cloudy. Mostly cloudy skies will happen after midnight, but we'll start to see those clouds increase here in the next couple of hours once we get out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we're going to reach a high of right around 80 degrees. Again, partly sunny. Again, and then we will see those mostly sunny skies come into the area once we get into your dinner time forecast. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Your Storm Shield 5-day forecast, though, is looking very warm across much of the region as we go through Monday through Friday, though. Storm chances increase as we get into Friday with a high of 80 degrees. And then you notice Saturday, thanks to that cold front coming through, we're going to see temperatures barely reaching 70 degrees once again for this weekend. So it looks like we could have another weekend of fall coming into preview here, Aimee.
Well, so, Andrew, it sounds as though warm weather is sticking around for a little bit. I'm not quite ready for the cold, but warm's going to stay, right?
Warm's going to stay, and I'm not ready for the cold either. I know this past weekend I was a little disappointed with it being that cold, that fast. We went from 90s, to lower 60s, even upper 50s. That's almost a 30-degree drop. So I'm glad to see the warm temperatures come back across the region for this week.
Well, at least I'm ready for the cold.
Yes. No, not so. Yeah. Not quite. Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much, Andrew. Coming up after the break, Jordan Morandini has an update on your Crusader athletics from the past week. Stay with us.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVU.
Hello, I'm Jordan Morandini with today's Crusaders Sports Update. With men's soccer, volleyball, women's soccer, and football all in action, it was a wild week for Crusaders sports. The men's soccer team traveled to take on a solid IUPUI Jaguar team in Indianapolis on Friday. Matthew Guay tied the game with a goal in the 66th minute, and Isaiah Madrid scored the golden goal in double overtime to win it for the Crusaders. The win took Valpo's record to 2-2-1. It will be back in action this upcoming Saturday in the Horizon League opener at Detroit. That one will begin at 12 p.m. The volleyball team took part in a home tournament in the Popcorn Classic this past weekend. 5 different teams, including the Crusaders, took part in what turned out to be a fantastic set of matches. Valpo opened up the weekend with a clean 3-0 sweep of Kennesaw State, led by Emily Campbell's 15 kills. Morgan Longoria played well for the Crusaders off the bench, leading the team with 13 digs. In their second match of the weekend, the Crusaders matched up with the Elan Phoenix. For the second straight match, Valpo swept all 3 sets with scores of 25-21, 25-18, and 25-16. Once again, Emily Campbell led the way for the Crusaders with 12 kills. After back-to-back wins on Friday, Valpo matched up with Savannah State on Saturday morning. The Crusaders wasted no time showing their talent, winning the first set easily, 25-13. Using that momentum, Valpo won the next 2 sets as well, 25-17 and 25-11. This win set the stage for the Crusaders to meet up with Loyola to decide who would win the crown of the Popcorn Classic. With both teams coming in at 3-0 on the weekend, this was the match everyone wanted to see. The first set led up to the hype, although Loyola ended up winning it 25-22. After that, the Crusaders struggled to regain any momentum. Loyola won the next 2 sets, 25-18 and 25-21, ending the Crusaders' undefeated season. Valpo will look to get back on track tomorrow against Toledo at the Arc at 7 p.m. The women's soccer team had a busy weekend with a pair of games against Eastern Washington and Bowling Green. The Crusaders lost a heartbreaker on Friday night to the Eagles in double overtime, but bounced back on Sunday with a draw against the Falcons. Valpo will look to get back in the winning column on Friday night in their Horizon League opener against Wright State. The football team struggled again this past weekend in a tough 56-3 loss to Sacred Heart. Jacob Newman kicked a field goal for the second straight game. The Crusaders will be back in action this Saturday at home against the College of Faith. That's all I have for today. For more on all of your Valpo Athletics news, log on to valpoathletics.com.
Thanks, Jordan. We have a final look at weather when we come back. Stay right here on Channel 15.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
if dying young won't change your mind, baby, right.
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Welcome back. Traveling by plane is always exciting, but one airline is making your next flight an out-of-this-world experience. All Nippon Airways, otherwise known as ANA, unveiled its new Star Wars-themed aircraft in Seattle this weekend. This particular 787-9 Dreamliner is painted to look like the iconic R2-D2 and marks the beginning of a 5-year project and an agreement with the Walt Disney Company. 2 other Star Wars-themed aircrafts will be revealed later this year. ANA is looking to increase its international presence, and what better way than with these creative aircrafts? And Andrew joins us back for a final look at weather. And Andrew, what does our rest of the week look like?
The rest of our week is actually looking above average here, at least up by 5 degrees on most of the time. The 5-day forecast, though, is going to show near 80 degrees for tomorrow with a low of 56. Wednesday, 82 with another low of 62. Thursday looks to be the warmest day of the 5-day, 84 degrees with a low of 66. You know, it's Friday, though, we have a chance of some storms coming into the area with a high of 80 degrees. Saturday, though, we could have a couple of rain showers around the area, and that's going to help drop us back down to 70 degrees around the area. So, guys, we're going to start to see those fall-like temperatures come back in once again by the time we reach this weekend. So if you're someone that loves hot apple cider, that's the day for you, is going to be Saturday and into this weekend.
But in terms of this week, Andrew, my plan, I don't have class on Friday, so my plan was to go to the dunes and catch some last rays before it all hits us. Can I do that? Is that all right?
You might, your best chance is going to be Friday.
Okay.
I think.
Perfect.
Saturday, it looks like we're going to have some morning rain showers, but then it's going to be mostly sunny for the rest of Saturday. But it's going to be a little bit chilly again on the lake.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of The Shield. For Parker, Jordan, Andrew, and myself, and all of us here at VUTV, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.